All right, finishing up exercise chapter 13, exercise 13.2 this time is to use a web font. We need to find some web fonts. I'm still using the Samson.html and the speaker.css. I still have the Samson.html up. And now I'm just going to go browse or go find where it shows me on page 457 where to find the fonts on your computer. And I'm going to, so I'm on a Windows system, I can, right, apparently I can't type. I'm going to go Windows/fonts, and it will bring up this list of fonts, and I can go through all of these fonts and look on in the preview and see what this font looks like. So I'm going to pick one down here. Let's see, and you could go through, you could obviously go through all of these and look at them and find something that you like. I think I wanted to, no, I don't want that one. I want something that you can read, but I want it to probably not be something that we would actually choose. So this is kind of a silly font. It's a very whimsical, fun sort of font. It's really readable, so you could use it on a page, but you'd probably want to use it fairly sparingly. And you would definitely want to have a very purposeful use of this. So the page would need to also mimic the same style. It would look really out of place and will in fact look really out of place on this particular sample. But it's just for the point of looking at it anyway. So it will make a very big difference on what that header looks like, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to copy this. So I get this file, and I'm going to do a Control-C. I'll open up my folder. I have a lot of stuff open, sorry. I'm going to open up my folder in the folder that I'm saving this in. So you should probably be saving yours in the folder that you are using to upload to GitHub or to commit to GitHub. But anyway, I'm in my what I'm calling Town Hall 2 completed, which isn't completed yet, and I'm putting it in the styles folder. It doesn't have to go in a styles folder. If you're going to use multiple fonts, you might actually want to have a fonts folder. But as it is, it's not going to hurt to put it in the styles folder. So I'm just going to copy that there, and that's all I'm going to do. I can rename that if I want, but it actually will be easier for me to find it if ever in the future I'm trying to look for something like it again. I can go ahead and just call it what it is. It's not terribly difficult to type or anything. So, and then I'm done with my system fonts. Now I'm going to come back over to my CSS, and I should be able to see in my folder that I now have opened, I now have saved this styles TTF font. So I'm going to go ahead and in my speaker.css file, I'm going to embed the font first, and often we do that at the top of the page. We don't have to, but it's pretty common that we'll do that at the very top of the CSS. So this will be where we're going to embed embedded elements. Yeah, embedded fonts. That's all we're going to have at this point. So we're going to embed this font. And in this embedded font, we're going to have something called @FontFace. Now, the point of doing this, many computers will have many of the same fonts, but some computers won't. And in that case, we're going to attach basically a copy of this font or how this font can be read into our files. And then we're going to say to the CSS that it can use this font. Now, there will be a few cases maybe that a browser won't accept this @FontFace, but most of the time it will. And if it doesn't, it's okay. We can use a font family with fallbacks. That's one of the benefits of doing that. And if we need to fall back, we'll use whatever's left. So for this font, I'm going to give it a font family here, and I'm going to go ahead and call it Kristen. I think that's what I saved it, yeah, Kristen. And I'm just calling it Kristen because that's what it would be called. Kristen Tree Tribe font would be called if I were looking it up in Word, for example. And the source is going to be the URL with the path. Now, because I'm using this path, I put this file in the styles folder. I don't need any more of a path than just the name of it. ITC RISC, I think, dot PTF. Now notice the capitalization. If it's capitalized in a file, it needs to be capitalized in my reference to it as well. And that's my source. And that's all I needed to do there. And now farther on, let's see, I'm going to, so I think it told me on page 474, it wanted me to style the H2 element in the header. So I'm going to come over here and look and see what that was. The H2 element in the header is going to be that San Joaquin Valley Town Hall. Okay. So I probably have already here. Yeah, the header H2 already has some has a rule set. So I don't want to add a new rule set. In fact, you shouldn't add a new rule set. Instead, you can go to that one that already exists, set a font family on it, and I called this one Kristen. And you can also choose some additional, I would probably choose sans serif font. Let's try Arial. Whoops. Arial, and yeah, let's do this. Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. That's fine. And save. Save everything and refresh. And now it has that font in it. And that's, of course, what it should look like. That's all there is to changing to a web font or a system font that we have. As long as your browser accepts that at font face, which most of them do at this point, you should be able to embed really just any kind of fonts that you have or that you create. So if you're interested in typography and you create your own font, then fantastic, use it. Feel free to enjoy it. Or if there are other things that you want to be sure, other fonts that you want to be sure are used, just embed those and they should be usable. That's all there is to it. Moving on.